Kia ora homies, welcome to tonight's collective reading. Happy full moon and total eclipse in Virgo. That is currently what we'll be reading under the energy of. So this collective reading is the mind as medicine. So the theme is reclaiming our inner critic as a skill. So this reading is for anyone navigating their mind, their inner dialogue right now, especially those noticing how powerful or loud their thoughts have been. We're not here to silence the mind, we're here to appoint it properly. So we're kind of just looking at the architecture, being curious and wondering if certain mindsets or thoughts can be used in a more nourishing way, as opposed to feeling like the mind is a prison, as opposed to the mind as the medicine or the mind as the portal or the gateway. So let's open with karakia. E te wairoa, e te aroha, we call in light, we call in love. May our hearts soften, our bodies remember, our spirits rise in truth and love. Homai te maere, bring us calm. Homai te oranga, bring us healing. For ourselves, for each other, for all who walk with us in spirit. Ngā mihi, ngā mana, ngā aroha. We honour the energy, the journey, the connection. Haumie hui tae kia. So I just want to invite collective to take a breath in with me. And out. Okay, let's get into it. So the first card that we are going to pull is the thought loop running in the collective right now. So also I want to say, bring your discernment if this reading sounds like it's for you, because not everything has to resonate. If it does, that's awesome. But if it doesn't, don't hold on to that part because you don't need it, right? So the thought loop running in the collective. What narrative are many of us unconsciously rehearsing, please, Spirit? What is the collective needing to know? What thought loop is running in the collective? Okay, so we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse with financial material changes and the Lovers coming out with harmony. The thought loop running in the collective. The Five of Pentacles in reverse is definitely giving scarcity energy, with the Lovers coming in with harmony. It feels like what thought loops running in the collective is a narrative that external love is scarce for you. I'm not loved, I'm alone, I'm isolated. Which feeds into other poverty mindsets that there's a fear of change as well, especially if you're someone who's been recovering from a lack of love in your life, or a love that wasn't what you thought it was, not feeling seen and held externally in love. It just feels very much like I can't do this alone. Just observing here. So like I said, take what resonates, but definitely a scarcity mindset, where that scarcity mindset, it's covering the wound of yearning and desiring a need for harmony. And since this is a reading on our collective thought, this energy is what's not bringing harmony here. It's kind of like actually a little bit scared of harmony, actually a little bit scared of feeling safe and secure in external love, even if it was on offer. So maybe there's even like a thought loop running if you are in a harmonious relationship where you're still feeling like there's a lack here, and that lack could be related to a lack of self-love, and it feels like protection and like the safety energy has brought up the scarcity mindset, and this might have surprised you, and now that hypervigilant mind wants to be on guard again because in the past maybe this burned you. Okay. We could also be playing out mindsets that echo a time where you were, I can't think of another word other than the victim of a lack of love. So there's like, yeah, I was just saying the same thing. Hang on. Why this thought has developed, Spirit. Why this thought has developed. You're probably someone who's struggling at the moment with overthinking. Yeah. Why this thought has developed. This pattern once kept you safe. This actually felt powerful to a past version of you because it did protect you, because you weren't actually wanting external love, or you weren't into it. You just, maybe you didn't want it. Maybe you're someone who grew up and was like, why would you bother? And yeah, it was protective. It was this shield. It was a pattern that kept you safe. Now, why has this thought developed? Your power. It was protecting your power, maybe protecting your pride. And we feel like this energy was protecting your pride in a way that allowed you time to sit with that lack and find the wisdom here. Find the wisdom where you reflected, where you learned about yourself, where you identified what need either you or they were ignoring or purposefully not meeting you at. So this kept you safe. However, because it's coming through this reading now and we're reclaiming the inner critic, it's like, now that inner critic is like disempowering you with the lack, with the scarcity, because I feel like you've moved through a lot where you actually are a grateful person and you have plans and dreams or desires that are more from your heart and not from your mind. And you're actually used to moving through life solo, and that feels whole. But it's like you're at a space and time where you don't want to block any blessings, whether that's deepening intimacy with yourself, deepening intimacy with your friends, your community, your family, or your partner or potential partners. I feel like the most reassuring thing here so far for the collective is that with this reading, you are the medicine, you are the answer. The way you interpret or receive readings or energy, you're either flowing more of this into you or outsourcing it, and I don't feel like that's what you want to be doing here. We got the base chakra color and we got the crown chakra color. So I'm talking to people who have been wanting to work with alignment and wanting to feel alignment within themselves and their values and their actions and their thoughts, right? So there's just deep work here, man. You could be a Leo. This is the card of the Leo. I think the Lovers is Gemini. Got the High Priestess on the bottom with intuition. Why this thought developed. Intuition's coming through with power here. So you're a spiritual energy person or someone who aligns with like the highest version of themselves, and it feels like something's happened in your lifetime where your intuition was kind of yeah, like you told it to fuck off because you felt like it let you down. And in doing so, telling your intuition to fuck off, you told this to fuck off in a sense. And that was self-protection, because for whatever reason, whatever moment you're thinking of or feeling into, you didn't feel safe in love. And that hurt. That hurts. And that is, let's affirm that for how legit that is, but also let's not cage ourselves in preventing blessings or love that wants to come in to our life, because we all need it and we're all looking to exchange it in a sense, on whatever level is the most medicinal for you. 12-12, okay? So the gift hidden in this mental pattern here. What is the gift hidden in this mental pattern here, please, Spirit? Conflict and defeat with the Five of Swords, and a triumphant success with the Ace of Swords. You're literally ending your own mental like fight. Like I feel like you've had like clarity has landed. 911, like something big's happened and it just ended a conflict and defeat. And this is what mental prisons can do to us. It's like you get locked in there, and then maybe something externally has happened and it's like, no, I need to pick my sword back up. What am I doing? Why am I, playing into this? If you feel like you've had a bit of a victim mindset coming through, that's what you're breaking out of right now. So, and that is, I say that with such a full heart, that you're breaking out of this victim mindset, because that means you have sat with that wound, sat with that archetype, sat with that identity, and sat with how maintaining the victim, moving forward and seeing through only that lens, has disrupted this, your natural power. And you're coming full circle where you're breaking out of that conflict and defeat, because a part of you actually felt like, and not identifying as the victim, maybe after being unaware you were a victim and then reflecting and thinking, fuck, there was conflict within moving forward from that, because that felt like another person, you abandoning that version of yourself. So, like I said, we're here to appoint all this energy properly, and this is confirmation for you with the Ace of Swords coming through, that you're breaking free of, you're changing your mindset with this, and how you even see it or view that. Like some of you could have been icked out by that feeling of being the victim, that you couldn't even give it the time of day. But it's like, and on that's the other end of the spectrum, where we actually acknowledge it, and accept that version of ourselves, and that they are welcome to move forward, they are welcome to heal, they are welcome to be reclaimed, released, whatever aligns to how you feel about that, or how your heart truly feels about that. Overthinking at this time is you rebooting your discernment here, collective. This card also fell out. We've got Mountain Retreat with green calcite, number 24. You're no longer needing to prove yourself like you thought you needed to. Divine Feminine, Black Moonstone. Maybe that's part of who's also, you know, coming through here. It's like whether you're male, female, it doesn't matter. Your masculine energy could have taken the challenge of like the scarcity or poverty wounds and wanted to build something for you, to find harmony, to have love, and to have these connections. But in doing so, you really needed to retreat away from like the norm, the world, the normal like mindset blueprint that's handed down generationally, and how you cope with things, or what you do talk about, what you don't talk about, what you're allowed to think about, what you're allowed to feel. And that is also what you're reclaiming as your divine feminine energy. That's the intuition you're wanting to call back, wanting to trust yourself again, wanting to trust her again, the her inside you. We all carry divine feminine energy, and because she's our supporter, and finding that counterpart if that's something that's on your mind at the moment. But also she's wanting to help with this feeling of wholeness, because even though the masculines possibly worked really hard building the house without having the feminine inside, is gutting that masculine energy, basically. So yeah, let's reframe some of this energy with this retreat and the triumphant success. Your hyper-independence at the moment is the leadership within you coming back. And what I mean by that is the thinking for yourself. Taking on information but not changing how you feel about it, or allowing yourself to actually consume it and hear what you think in a position of retreat. Thank you, Spirit. That is the medicine. At the moment, if you're like, I don't know how to do all of this, this is like too much, you're not too much. Take some time out to actually reflect on how you feel about things, or when you feel like you need to go and learn what someone else is thinking, try and retreat into yourself and feel what you're thinking and feeling from both your heart and your mind, and work from there, okay? That's your medicine at the moment, all right? Pretty clear. So, now we go to the sword to pick up now. So this is giving 111 energy, what mindset we're consciously choosing moving forward. Okay, what is the mindset that we're consciously choosing moving forward? Transformation with the Death card coming out. Flipping over for the collective. Let it die. You don't need to solve it if it's not going to serve you. And solving things for other people is not going to work anymore. They need to solve it for themselves. You can offer your opinion if asked. You're not at the beck and call of anyone but you. This is the new beginning for your mind, because I feel like mentally you've had to cater to monitoring other people's energies The new beginning is transforming that and monitoring your internal energy for that reconciliation with your divine feminine, with your intuition, with your power, so that you can move forward into this new cycle transformed and with trust within yourself. That's what's wanting to come through here with this transformation. We've got spiritual union, 2 of cups on the bottom. Beautiful. You aren't your mind. 1, passion ignited. Ace of Wands here. Your mind not doing overtime on like hashing out old arguments or reliving past traumas that you are now safe from, you are now healing from, you are now moving forward from. This clears out room, this death clears out room to like set your fucking heart on fire, coming full circle. This is you, man. Claim this energy. This is where you've been working towards, your passions to be ignited. What manifestation is coming through here with the Ace of Wands, because there's an offer here from Spirit. This is your energy. Like we've talked to past versions with these cards, this conflict and defeat. This is you safe. This is you sound. This is you feeling secure within your heart space, feeling secure that you're not going to abandon any version of yourself anymore. You're not going to abandon your truth you're not going to abandon your truth. And that soothes your nervous system. Because if you're not living in your truth, then the body and the mind, all of it tries to work hard to get your attention. Because you're not fulfilling something here. But this is the refinement. 9 of Cups. Fulfillment of wishes. So yeah, there's an opportunity here with picking up these swords. Like you're picking up your fire, your passion, the dare to wish for better for yourself and believe it. So keep wishing and keep looking for the new beginning. Old mindsets may surface, but that's when you bring in the Ace of Swords, okay? Okay. I feel like there's this exciting energy of like you're not going to know yourself because you're going to be enjoying yourself a lot more, your own energy. Like you won't even be thinking about how do I set the boundary, like your boundaries are set and you're just like basking in the safety that you've provided yourself by not pushing, not adding to the list, not sacrificing yourself in order to show up for other people, because there's options. You know, there's always time to do things that you want to do, but it's important that moving forward, you're able to align in a way where your energy can meet what you're trying to achieve at the moment. So, with this energy, the thought to reassign or release for the collective, recognition and reward, 3 of Pentacles. And the Emperor, authority, and the Ace of Cups. Okay, so this will take time. Obviously, if you've been thinking in a certain way for years upon years, this will take time. So Spirit's just reminding you to have patience with yourself, and that's part of your medicine too. And the thought to reassign or release is the need, your need for recognition and reward. It's not something to punish yourself for, it's something that is your standard. If people can't recognize your energy for what it is and what you offer, and for a lot of you that's like a lot of unseen emotional labor that is not necessarily reciprocated. Yeah, and it leaves you hoha and leaving you with a little bit of resentment because you're using a lot of your medicine for people to not grab the sword and cut themselves out of the situation, which is why earlier we talked about allowing other people to be the solution to their own situation. So there's a thought to reassign here. If you feel responsible for other people's state of emotions, and that part of you just wants to lean in and please or fix, we reassign that thought to opening yourself up to witnessing this person and what they're moving through and seeing if that lands better for you, and having faith that they are empowered enough to work through this. I'm not saying sit there and don't say anything, but just witness. Let them move through it. Be the curious questioner. Reflect and mirror back how you see them, and just let that land as opposed to jumping right in there with them and feeling it all with them. So we think this thought and we either upgrade or retire it. So this is you taking authority within the moment, being that container, not for the external person, but for your own internal world, where if you emotionally can't show up, you move to witnessing, or you set the boundary and you move away. You move away from the connections that don't recognize you. And you move towards this, the Ace of Cups, where love begins. You have authority over your own mind. The recognition that you give yourself for what you've moved through and worked through mentally pours that love back into you. I feel like Spirit wants to say that they want your mental space to be a space of like retreat, where you can meet energies that are like grandparents, like grandma, grandpa, papa, nanny, whoever, and bring your thoughts to those energies because they feel really loving and really supportive. And yeah, there's a chance to meet that energy for you, however that resonates for whoever. Whew. And we're also releasing thoughts that in order to receive, you have to give. You being on this earth, you being who you are, you being just you, authentically you, is all you need to be worthy of love. So don't muck around with energies that tell you otherwise or convince you otherwise, because they're trying to take authority over you because you have beautiful energy. And in a sense, they're probably recognizing they need some of that energy themselves, not understanding that it's within them, not external to them. Okay, which you now recognize and reward yourself for understanding, for this clarity here. All right, so may your mind be an instrument, not an enemy. May your thoughts be chosen, not inherited. May you remember that you are the thinker, not the thought. All right, collective, I'm going to leave this reading there. Comment clarity if anything resonated for you, and wishing you all the best for this full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo at this time. Okay, keep healing, homie. Y'all are amazing. Enjoy reconnecting to your intuition and your divine feminine energy. Okay, make time for it and slow down. Okay, your power is returning. Okay, I'll leave that with you. Lots of love, homies.